In today's Experiments at Home, Matt is going to show us how you can grow a plant by using a simple dried seed, a wet paper towel, and a Ziploc bag, and of course, some patience. Let's get ready for some science.
And welcome back to another at-home science experiment. For our experiment today, we will take dried beans and put them in a plastic baggie and watch them grow. We will complete this experiment by utilizing a plastic baggie, a paper towel, and dried beans. For our procedure, we're going to wet a paper towel, put it in a plastic baggie, add the dried beans, then put it in a warm area and wait. By doing this, we will eventually, in the next 3 to 7 days, see the seeds germinate, which is when they initially begin to grow. I will be using a medium-sized plastic baggie, this paper towel, and dried black beans, though any type of dried beans will work. Next, just to make sure the towel fits inside the bag nicely, I pre-folded it. For the paper towel, you want it to be damp and not very, very wet because you do not want the beans to be in a pool of water in the bag. Next, slide the paper towel into the plastic baggie. Next, we're going to add beans to the bag. I'm going to add around 4 or 5. If you want to add more beans, then you can. It's just you may not be able to see which roots belong to which beans, which I think is very cool. This is what the bag should look like when you're done. The beans should be evenly spread out. Now you're going to find a place for these warm beans to rest, whether on a windowsill or outside. These are some beans that I let rest outside a couple days ago. Before I show you the beans that I placed outside 2 weeks ago, let's explain how this happens. For a seed to germinate and grow into an adult plant, it needs to be in the proper conditions. It needs to have ample moisture, which is water content, warmth, sunlight, and nutrients. In the plastic baggie, the moisture comes from the water we added, warmth and sunlight come from the sun, and the nutrients comes from the seed. Now I will show you what the beans look like after 2 weeks. Keep in mind, after a month or so of growth, you will need to transfer the baby plants into soil to keep them alive. Thank you for joining me to do this experiment today, and if you do it, make sure to send pictures to the library. We'd love to see. My name is Matthew Balestier. Thank you and stay safe.
If you've enjoyed our program today, you might want to check out some of these titles from the Paramus Public Library. Not a Bean by Claudia Guadalupe Martinez is the story of a Mexican jumping bean that isn't a bean at all. It's a fascinating home and food source for a special kind of caterpillar. And Then the Seed Grew by Marion Dubuc. One morning, a seed suddenly and unexpectedly appears in the garden that Jack and his friends call home. Find out what they do next by picking up And Then the Seed Grew. And The Nitty Gritty Gardening Book. Fun projects for all seasons by Carrie Cornell. Learn why we garden, gardening basics, and the tools and supplies that you need to create a successful edible garden. These books can be found at the Paramus Public Library and on bccls.org.